path tracing of sunlight only is currently set, and that gives us 55 FPS and a small tiny break on our VRAM usage. Anytime you implement DLSS, it lowers that background resolution, so you get a small break on your VRAM. So I'm really thinking we're going to have to go to performance here, as kind of that baseline if we want to start doing any sort of a more aggressive path tracing. So we're going to go to performance. I'm going to go ahead and apply that. Now that gives us 54 FPS. Now you could come in here and frame gen from this. That would probably be a pretty good experience. That VRAM got a smaller break. Still little increments do add up, but we're right under 13 gigs on our used VRAM. So you could come in here and do some frame generation. I do want to see what it does whenever we go to that next level of ray tracing without, or path tracing without any sort of, frame generation. So I'm going to go up a little bit harder on the path tracing. So this brings us to 45 FPS, 48 FPS, 50 FPS. And this is totally playable. I'm not gonna lie. This is totally playable. 50 FPS on a game like this is a nice experience, especially when you throw in some frame generation. You can have a really good, well-rounded experience without breaking the bank on something like a 5080. To do all this without frame generation is probably what it would take. But let's just go to that very next level. Go all the way up on our path tracing. All right, so if I go up on my sunlight, so from only sunlight, it will require me to turn on some additional ray tracing features, which will be pretty intensive. So we're going to leave that off for the very last section of this. So full ray tracing, everything's completely maxed out up here, and we do have that performance DLSS enabled. Let's see what that does for us here. That gives us 40 FPS. Now, your VRAM might be able to do some frame generation. We're going to test that out next. So 41 FPS, you can frame generate from here on a game like this. This isn't something that you need to have like the best reflexes ever with. This isn't the finals or any kind of like first person shooter, but we are in the high 30s. So just kind of we're getting a little to the point where I wouldn't really want to completely max everything out just all the way like this. However, for the sake of the test, let's come in here and just turn on this ray reconstruction. It's going to require me to do that. Yes, I'm going to enable that. All right, so that's done.